What's up, guys? Give me the video game scientist from VG Bootcamp here, and this is the ultimate guide to Blade in Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. In this video, I'm going to give you a crash course on how Blade plays, how his mechanics work, how to approach with him, and how to do some combos and mix. Welcome to my FGC channel, Gamer FGC. If you want to see more high-quality Marvel Tokon content, subscribe, give the video a like, and turn on those notifications. If you're new to fighting games, or if you're a seasoned fighting game vet who's new to Tokon, this guide is for you. That being said, you should definitely watch my ultimate guide to Marvel Tokon first, because that's where I go into detail how everything in the game works, from the basics to the more complicated system mechanics. Click here or the link in the description to go watch that. Alright, let's get started. But first, a quick overview.
I'll make this quick. Show me how much monster you've got.
Blade is a very strong, neutral character and can be threatening at pretty much every range. With the combination of his long-reaching normals and the mobility of his skills and unique, he feels great to play in so many different scenarios. He is also incredibly consistent and feels natural to pick up and play. Thanks to his unique, which we'll go over soon, he can consistently get big damage combos off pretty much any hit, even projectiles and assists. I would say he has one prevailing weakness, and that is that he does not have a built-in way to mix up opponents and open them up on block the same way other characters can. This means you'll find a lot of success winning neutral or using some of his strengths to help another character on your team get into a position to open up your opponent. Are you sick of trying to play the game you love and just see people on Twitter complain about it and moan 24/7? If this is you, then you should join the Gamers Lab Discord. Here, we foster a community focused on having a positive attitude towards getting better at the game, through sharing tech, strategies, and guides, as well as matchmaking. We also have character-specific discussions and a forum where you can discuss anything. If this sounds like a place you want to be a part of, join my Discord now. The link's in the description. Seriously though, we have categories for Street Fighter 6, Marvel Tokon, 2XKO, Rivals of Aether 2, Smash Melee, Smash Ultimate, and more. So let's quickly go over his important normals. His stand light does not have much range, but it's his fastest normal at 6 frames. His crouch light is just 1 frame slower, but it hits low. This 1 frame can make a difference in tight scrambles, but it's worth noting at point blank ranges, throws are actually faster than 6 frame normals, which is universal across every character. His medium buttons are fantastic and something you'll find yourself using often. His standing medium is 11 frames, which is slower than some other characters' mediums, but it reaches incredibly far and lets him convert even at its max range by using meter or an assist. His crouching medium does not reach so far, but it hits low and allows you to get big combos without needing any meter or assist, which we'll go over later. His standing heavy also covers a massive distance, and you're able to convert off it at max range in the same way as a standing medium. His air buttons are fairly standard. You'll often use his jump light as a quick air-to-air, jump medium reaches a bit in front of you but not actually to a crazy degree, and his heavy hits a bit below him. His forward heavy hits in front of him as well, and his down heavy is a bit unique in that it halts his momentum and makes him go straight down. If someone's reactions are incredibly good and they see you about to jump over them, you can stay on the same side and call an assist to convert off this move. Next up is one of the most important moves in his kit, Heartstopper, his unique ability. By pressing the unique button, Blade will throw a tracking projectile towards the opponent and then follow them up behind it if the opponent got hit or blocked the projectile. You can cancel most specials into Heartstopper, which we'll be using for many combos. You can make it come out faster by manually aiming it, giving up the tracking for speed. It is worth noting you should not get used to throwing these out on block without covering yourself with an assist, because if the opponent blocks the projectile and you teleport to them, Blade is -10, which allows your opponent to get a free punish. This unique is a resource in which Blade only starts each round with 3 of. That being said, at the start of the next round, you always get 3 back, and as the game progresses, you may be able to kill your opponent before you even need a 4th one, or tag into another character using some of the pressure Blade can produce on block, which we'll go over. That being said, if you need to refill them, you can always just press down and unique, whether you're missing 1 or all 3. Pressing down and unique will ensure Blade has 3 uses ready to go. The recharge does not take very long, so if you really need to, it's not that difficult to charge them quickly behind an assist or when you have a lot of space to work with. His back unique is Daywalk or Deflect. This works as a traditional counter or parry, so there isn't a whole lot to go into, but it's worth noting that if you do hit it, you will notice Blade's sword turn red. When your opponent gets hit by the counter, Heartstopper, or even blocks Heartstopper, Blade enters an empowered state called Marked for Death, in which his next special move will be enhanced. This power up is very important to getting his biggest combos, but don't worry too much about it, as many combos will set it up right before you need it. Okay, let's talk about his skills. By pressing quarter circle forward and a button, or just hitting the quick skill button, Blade will perform a bullet barrage. Although it's mostly a fairly standard projectile, in combination with canceling into Heartstopper, it gives Blade many unique options, which we'll soon talk about. The light version is the fastest, but has the lowest hit and block stun. The medium version is slower, but has more hit stun and block stun, which actually allows us to naturally combo into Heartstopper, even without an assist. The EX Heavy version gives us the best of both worlds, and is quite good at not only allowing you to catch your opponent off guard at full screen, but to beat other projectiles out and convert off them. You can use them in the air, and they behave the same as their rounded version. You can combo off both the medium and heavy versions with Heartstopper. The DP motion plus a normal, or just hitting forward plus the quick skill button, will have Blade perform Vampire Slayer. It's a fairly standard anti-air, but when it hits a counter hit, which is quite common, as people will often press a button when jumping in on you, you can combo into Heartstopper. The medium version is no longer an anti-air, but instead is a forward lunging special move, which will be used in combos. The heavy version is similar and even breaks the wall from quite a far distance. Quarter circle back plus a normal, or back plus the quick skill button, is Vampire Cleave, another forward advancing special, but this one actually goes through the opponent. We will be using this in combos as well, because as you might have guessed, we can use Heartstopper to convert off the medium and heavy versions. Finally, with down down and a button, or down plus the quick skill button, we have Glaive Strike, in which Blade throws a chakram that stays active incredibly long, especially the medium and heavy versions. I'm sure there will be combos with this move, but one important thing to note is moves like this tend to be quite strong in games that allow you to tag your teammate in on the fly, as locking your opponent down with this special can allow another character to come in and mix the opponent up. This is more of an advanced thing that you need a fleshed out team for, but it's good to remember this as you think of another character you want to add to your team down the line. Okay, so let's talk about how we're going to be using all these tools to actually win neutral and land hits. This sounds a little basic to say, but Blade is a character that rewards you for just playing him a lot over and over again. He has good mobility and great normals, so the more comfortable you are just controlling him and punishing what other characters like to do often, the more you'll get out of the character. Besides traditional neutral, we can also use a few tricks to maneuver some of the harder matchups. As mentioned earlier, Blade is quite good at not only being threatening across the screen because of his own projectile, but also he's good at anti-zoning by using his heavy EX gun to go through other projectiles, allowing us to get a full combo. If you don't want to spend bar and don't have enough time to use slow or medium versions of the projectile, you can still convert quite easily off the light version, as long as you have an assist ready. You can also take to the air and use the gun in a similar way. Many characters are worse at covering the air, and some people will just try to chase you if they see you retreating back in the air. But by using his gun, we can quickly turn the tides, pull in full combos while retreating to buy space. When it comes to his pressure on block, as mentioned earlier, Blade doesn't have a lot of built-in mix-ups. You can use the chakram to set up good situations for your other characters, but even just using assist to reset your block strings to go for extended pressure could lead to strike throw, or bait your opponent to panic trying to get out. The bright side of this is that Blade is so strong and neutral, has so many ways to actually just get hits without having to get really close, and forcing block situations that you won't have to rely on this nearly as much as other characters. And finally, let's talk about how you'll be structuring your combos with Blade. Depending on assists, resources, and a lot of other things, you may want to go for varying combos. So instead, let's focus on the route which makes Blade's combos work, and go from there. Just like every other character, you can do the standard combo of doing a few hits on the ground, launching the opponent up, and then going up to continue your combo until you launch them back down at the ground. You can either send them back to the ground and pick them up with an assist, but if you're near the wall, you can instead end the combo with a light Vampire Cleave, break the wall, or get a wall splat. Now, the standard combo isn't really worth getting into too much, because we can upgrade it with very minimal effort, even without an assist or any meter. At any point of a combo, you can get your opponent off the ground and hit them with a heavy normal. So if you crouch medium into a heavy or crouch heavy, you can use Heartstopper to always follow the opponent after the heavy, and continue your combo that way, but now Mark for Death will be active. After following Heartstopper, you can do a heavy, jump up forward, heavy, forward heavy, into a buffed version of light Vampire Cleave. After hitting the buffed version, Blade can actually follow it up again without an assist or meter, by using Heartstopper once again and bringing them to the ground to extend even further. From here, you can simply do a stand heavy into a medium version of Vampire Slayer to break the wall or get a wall splat. You can also cancel into super if you want to cash out meter for more damage. This is honestly the basis for building combos with Blade off any situation, because he has so many ways to combo into his unique, which will power up the next light vampire cleave, in which he can choose to follow up to keep going even more. Blade is an incredibly consistent character, because although he can use meter and assist in a variety of ways, he does not rely on them nearly as much as other characters to get big, corner carry combos that allow you to break the wall or cash out with a super. Although he does have a lot of ways to combo into a Heartstopper naturally, one case where you might not be able to is a max range standing in medium or stand heavy. In those cases, he still has reliable options. You can either cancel into the heavy version of Bullet Barrage and then cancel that into Heartstopper, or you can use an assist after canceling into Vampire Cleave. These are the most common ways you'll be comboing with Blade, and once you get used to it, they feel incredibly natural, which makes them feel great to pick up and get consistent on. That being said, he also has some much higher damage combos as well. I'm sure they'll get even more crazy, but if you manage to wall splat with the enhanced version of Vampire Cleave, which we've already been doing, by using a combination of both the light and medium versions of grounded Vampire Cleave, coupled with the assist in between, you can get this insane combo that was popularized by Fenrich. After the wall splat, you want to do a heavy into the medium version of Vampire Slayer, and call an assist as the last hit of Vampire Slayer connects. Then do a medium Vampire Cleave, followed by a light Vampire Cleave. Call an assist, and repeat. You can cancel the final special into any super you have access to. That's the video. If you liked it, consider giving it a like. If you really liked it, consider subscribing. And if you really liked it, consider turning on those notifications. Which characters would you like to see me do more guides on? Let me know in the comments below. I'm busy, and I got stuff to do. So it's back to the lab with me. See you guys next time.
Back to the lab.